Refreshing.
Yum.
My first guest tonight was a regular on the Larry Sanders Show, and she's appeared in numerous films, including Reality Bites and The Truth About Cats and Dogs. Please welcome Janeane Garofalo.
I'm good, thank you.
I think those are very cool, those sneakers.
Oh, thanks, I got them today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Mention the company and you'll get them free. I'm kidding. No, don't really.
I don't know
Against the law. You know, they're very, I passed a store, I'm going to sound like an old man now, but I passed a store the other day, like down in the village, that has all the newest sneakers. And they're making them, they're trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
On the size of, like, the heel, first of all. You can have, like, 14 inches of foam now.
Yeah.
And also how far out it goes. And basically, I was looking in the window and I thought, you could sell clown shoes legitimately as sneakers now. You could say, here's a pair of 1968 clown shoes. It's our latest.
Well,
it's
you
our
see, like, rave kids who wear, like, the Dr. Seuss hats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is, like, the silliest thing when you see, like, the kids walking down, the kids walking down the street. Well, I think today when I was getting the shoes, this girl comes in and she goes, hey, I can rave Janeane. And she did a series of motions and movements, and I just stared at her. I think I was supposed to be very impressed or something, and she goes, don't you get it? And I said, what does that mean to rave? And she goes, don't you go to the clubs? And I said, well, I've heard of raves, but I didn't know it was like a concept of something to do with hand motions and communications.
Wait a minute,
hula dance.
You can rave somebody? I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Is that a thing, kids? Can you rave something?
We had all the kids escorted out of our audience before the show. And replaced with 95-year-old men and women who served in the First World War.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, how is everything going? You have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend, actually. I just got back from Martha's Vineyard, where I was a bridesmaid in my best friend's wedding, and my real best friend's wedding, not like a movie. My Mary Beth Bowler, my best friend.
I hear that's terrific movie.
Yeah, so I was a bridesmaid, and I was hoping I'd have anecdotes and stuff for you, but it was such a lovely, tasteful, life-affirming, like, I was going to wear the bridesmaid's dress on, but it was such a lovely dress that I couldn't even wear it on. It would have been like I was just kind of nicely dressed for the show, so there would be no joke there about this great dress that I really can wear again.
Right.
But I was like assigned, there's bridesmaid protocol and duties that I was not familiar with, like at the shower. I was the person who kept the minutes of the gifts. Like I guess you have to write what people get to record it, so for thank you notes or something.
That's a pain in the ass.
I know, so I had, but the funny thing was, is like after like a bottle of wine, my handwriting goes arcing down, sloping, and all it says on this piece of paper that she couldn't decipher was, wow, what a spatula. Or, hey, get a load of that dish. I did like that on the thing, and then it was like spiral writing or something, but it was really great. And then we were leaving the island on this little 19-seater plane that was
Where was the wedding? It was
in Menemsha, in Martha's Vineyard,
in Martha's
up
Vineyard.
island.
Okay.
And so we're leaving the island. There was this guy who was getting our plane, this 19-seater, and then meeting a connector in LaGuardia to go to the Chicago Bulls game. And this guy was like the most amped ex-frat daddy, like weekend on the vineyard guy who was really psyched about these tickets, and our plane was delayed an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know if you've ever sat shoulder to shoulder with a guy with tickets to the Bulls Jazz game who knew he was going to miss his connector. But we were like, that man was a coil of emotion, and he ordered 3 cans of Bud at one time to have, and stacked them up, cracked, and just drinking. And he was just, he couldn't believe when they would keep announcing delays. Like, I thought this guy was literally going to strangle the flight attendant, and he was one of those guys that when the plane lands, he starts standing up. And you know how the stewardess gets really mad. Please stay in your seat until we are at the gate. You, sir, until we are at the gate. Like, she was really mad, and he was about to pounce on her. But he just, I think that was, what is the Utah Jazz? I don't understand.
It's a basketball
team. I know that, but like, why? No, I know that. But I don't understand why they are called the Utah Jazz.
They started in New Orleans.
Right, and then they moved.
Oh,
but it is confusing, because you think Utah, world of jazz.
It's so jazz-worthy. I know. Yeah. I lived in Utah for 3 months, and that is, believe me, the least jazz-worthy, thinking outside the box, selective center kind of place.
You miss out, Daddy-O.
I know.
They're there. Look, behind that mountain goat. It's a jazz hipster.
I never understood
Mormon
that.
jazz cat with the goofy beards.
That sounds like a hellish experience. Also, I don't like small planes. I have a fear of small planes.
No, this was like literally like the pilot. If he was going to back up, I could just picture him going like this. Looking
Also,
at the back.
what I don't like is when they fly the plane, a little plane, and they leave the door to the cockpit open. That's not my concern.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what's happening in there. And I was on a little flight to, I think it was Block Island, which is off Rhode Island, and I'm flying, and the guy, of course, the door is open, and the guy's there, and I don't know this, but a little alarm goes off when it's time to put the landing gear down. I guess you trigger some kind of radar thing, and it goes, and you don't hear that when you're flying on a commercial flight. They keep you away from that. I'm there, and this red light on the dashboard starts going, and I panicked, and I start to come into, like, the cockpit area.
It was the oil light. Check the oil.
Yeah, right.
Check the oil.
I'm a talk show host.
Yeah.
What the hell did you think you were going to do?
I thought I could do something. I thought I could. I did. I came in there. I lean in. What are you doing in here? I've talked to David Hasselhoff 4 times. I'm taking this baby down.
One time I was on a 6-seater where you had to be weighed before you got on the plane.
That's humiliating.
And it was not just like a scale. It was like a big old-timey TYME scale, like with a big old clock weight thing. So anybody in the airport sees like whatever you weigh on the thing, and then they decide where you sit from that. It was so offensive. Like they had me sitting here, and then a guy, like a big dude, like here, and I'm like, oh, I'm his ballast. I'm on par with this a strapping young fellow, you know.
If the plane had crashed, it would say, you know, he was killed and his ballast. Now, the only thing I can think would be worse is if they made you take off your clothes and, like, put on a diaper.
Oh, they did.
To be weighed.
They did.
They did? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Just sitting in front of a
scale.
Did they make you?
I volunteered to wear the adult diaper.
That diaper was there already. Well,
Speaking of adult diapers, that could bring us to, I wanted to, the next anecdote.
What?
Well, I was thinking, because I wanted to talk a little bit about Viagra, but all day I was going, how are we going to ease into that smoothly without anyone knowing?
I'll help you. So, hey, what do you think of Viagra?
Adult diapers will go into Viagra. But I was just thinking, because I heard there's a new female kind of Viagra type thing now, which might be a bogus revelation, but I heard that, and I was thinking the whole new retirement community world is like Studio 54 now. Like, there's like all these Sanibel slacks and golf carts around, and, you know, Florida must be just going crazy now. You know, on the golf courses of America, it's all these randy seniors, you know.
I love the word randy, too.
I like the word
You
senior.
randy senior, you.
Now I go to the early bird special so I can get home and start to love it.
Different thing. So.
But also Viagra, you know, we did, everyone's been doing jokes about it. So now I'm actually afraid to do a Viagra joke because I think someone else must have done this joke by now.
Well, the only reason I was going to talk about it tonight is because I heard this morning about the female one, which blew my mind.
How would the female one work?
Is it true? Maybe it's not a true story, but somebody told me it's to heighten sexual pleasure for, you know, postmenopausal woman.
Oh, my God.
Like so I guess this is to keep in, you know.
What if a man took that? What would happen?
I don't know. They'd have to have a hysterectomy, I guess. I don't know.
If you want to make sure you get the right one.
Yeah.
You know, is this the right one? That's it. You're out of time. Okay. You know, usually when we've been doing the show routinely, I'm smooth about, well, it sounds terrific, and then I get out. But we've been on vacation for like 2 weeks, so just now I went, that's it. And maybe that should be the way we do it now. You know, it's somehow more honest. Like, well, that's as much time as you have.
Yeah. All righty.
We'll have an egg timer right here. But thank you very much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Hilarious, as always. Janeane Garofalo, everybody. CK coming up. We'll be right back.